Welcome back to Mass Appeal. No store-bought frosting will ever taste as good as the one that you make for yourself. So joining us with a delicious homemade frosting, we've got Rainey and we've got Derek, both of them a culinary arts instructor from Dean Tech. And Derek, you're a student. Now this recipe, this is kind of a big piece of breaking news because you and your family ran this bakery for a long time. Which bakery was it?
We were at Langeliers Bakery in Holyoke.
Langeliers Bakery in Holyoke, and we all know it, we all love it.
We were there for 40 years. It was there for 95 years. And this is a frosting that was made by the owner of the bakery back when my father was working there, and they didn't have powdered sugar during World War II. They had a machine that pulverized the sugar, made powdered sugar, and he was the only guy in the whole area that made powdered sugar to make this kind of a frosting to decorate birthday cakes and wedding cakes.
No way.
And that's a little bit of history from that place. And this recipe is a recipe I made my entire life in 80-quart bowls.
and 80 quarts, that's pretty big tubs. Yeah.
And I never made it at home because I didn't need to.
Let's take it back from the bake shop.
When we closed, my sister said, I've got to have that recipe. So my sister's the only one that makes this frosting besides me.
And now
the whole world's going to make it.
Well, let's get started, because there's a history here. So what do we need to use?
Okay, so it's a very simple recipe. It has, in the bottom of the bowl, we put Crisco shortening or any kind of white vegetable shortening, solid shortening, not oil.
Yeah, and this is don't skimp, don't use any of the newfangled oils. Use shortening.
Use shortening. This isn't going to be a healthy frosting, but it's going to be the best.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not looking for healthy today.
And the recipe is a cup and a half of shortening. Okay. We have a half a cup of corn syrup. We have a half a cup, well, we have 6 cups of powdered sugar, 6X powdered sugar. We have a half a cup of cake flour. We use cake flour because it's a pure white flour that keeps your frosting white. We have a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, and a teaspoon of cornstarch. Believe it or not, powdered cornstarch going in here
is the way to
go. Make the frosting stand up when you use it for decorating.
That makes sense. Derek, have you tried this frosting yet?
I've tried it a few times and I love it.
All right, get it going, Derek. On first gear, we're gonna start it on first gear on the mixer, or slow or low, as slow as you can go.
Now, if you don't have a mixer, could you fold something like this in?
Not by hand, but you would use a hand mixer.
You don't fold it and use your hand mixer. Okay.
The only liquid going in is a half a cup of water, and I've got a tablespoon of pure vanilla. We're gonna put the vanilla in the water.
Okay.
And we're going to let this mix just a little tiny bit so it starts coming together. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah,
we don't have a clear bowl.
Thanks for giving us that angle.
Okay, now pour the water in. And all we do is pour the water right in and let the machine do the work. My father was famous for saying that. Let the machine do the work, let the water do the work.
Now, Derek, so you're in school for this. Is this easy or hard for you to make?
This is pretty easy. It's one of the basic levels of frosting.
Now, even for someone like me, like a lot of people watching who aren't very good in the kitchen, could we pull this off?
I think you can pull it off.
All right.
Yeah,
that's a vote of confidence, Derek. I like to hear it.
And the good thing about this frosting is once you make it and you put it in a bowl, you use it. If you don't use it all, it refrigerates perfectly. Just keep it covered with saran wrap.
Now, how long do you think it stays good for in the fridge?
It would keep for a couple of months in the refrigerator.
Oh!
Absolutely.
So
as long as it's not exposed to any of the flavors in the refrigerator.
Oh,
that's what it looks like. There you go. Now you can see it.
Oh, that's good.
That's what it looks like when it's mixing.
So we could make a Father's Day cake, then save some. Turn it red, white, and blue for the 4th.
And, just another thing I wanted to say is that this frosting is great for decorating because it takes color very well. It stands up to make roses and any of your fancy decorated stuff, and it tastes great.
Oh, I bet it does.
So now I'm gonna get this up on 2nd or 3rd speed. I'm gonna mix it for about a minute and a half.
Okay.
We used to mix it a little bit more, give it a little bit more air. The more air you give it, the fluffier it gets.
So if people are doing it at home, they can do it for a little bit longer.
They can do it for 4 or 5 minutes.
All right, perfect. Well, you know what we'll do? We have some cookies. We'll put some frosting on the cookies at the end of the show. We'll take a big bite.
That'll be perfect.
Sounds good to me. In the meantime,